The book of Obadiah 1 from the top, it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right, shalom, shalom. First thing first, I want to give all praises, glory, honor, and power that's due unto Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone, those who rule well and who I learned this truth from. Salutation to the brothers stiffly pushing this one truth in all sincerity and diligence, risking both your lives and freedoms to do so. And shalom to the rest of the elect as we all await the second Exodus coming quickly by the hands of the Lord Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Akagabar. All right, coming back at you again with a lesson. All right, that'll be an update, on the tensions, all right, over there in the so-called Middle East, which is really, Asia, the continent of Asia. All right. But, ultimately the tensions is escalating over there, man. All right. And that's why we grabbed Obadiah, because these nations are looking to rise up. All right. Against Edom, which is, America, Babylon the Great. All right. Their counterparts, as well as those small hats. OK, the 48ers, man. OK, the Amalekites. All right. And you have the nations that are set to rise up against this place. OK. And the latest, all right, dealing with those tensions. All right. You have it to where China has been, sending humanitarian aid over there to Gaza, to those Palestinians. OK. And they pretty much warned Israel, if you target any of our fighter jets, all right, or, you try to shoot them down or whatever the case may be, hey, then it's up. Okay, it's up, man. And I have a couple videos on to play, and, that'll pretty much be the lesson, because, hey, we're in them times, man, to where, scriptures speak about these prophecies being likened unto birth pains, birth pains in a woman, to where, it kicks and it gets, it get a little, she has her moments of pseudo peace, if you will, and then the baby kicks again, ultimately until it's about to be delivered, so things are escalating quickly, man. But let me play a couple of these videos.
So China sends some aid to Gaza, right? And they make a very blatant statement to Israel. They say to Israel, if you even think about trying to stop us from bringing aid to the people of Gaza, we will erase you from the planet Earth. You will no longer exist. You will be erased. You will face such a penalty. He says Netanyahu will go crying to America and begging President Trump for help.
Yeah, man. Hey, because quite honestly, hey, these nations are fed up with the state of Israel and America, man. Everybody's fed up. Okay, everybody's fed up with this place. So
this just in, the
we're
Chinese
at that
government.
Point, Salakia, we're at that point when you go into Habakkuk 2, which I'll jump there. All right, this place is going to become a spoil. See, whereas, America, all right, been the sword, that military might, they got all the most military bases everywhere. And, the small hats, all right, have been funding all of these expeditions, if you will, going into these other lands, taking people's resources, coveting people's houses, their homes, their heritage. Well, now the nations are fed up, and now they're about to, as we just read in Obadiah, they're going to rise up, all right, against this place. This is Habakkuk 2, and we'll get to the point. Verse 5, it says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. And that's not going into, a bottle of Moscato, okay? It's his philosophies, it's his doctrines, it's his vibration he pushes out, man. You see, it says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, okay? Who has the most military bases everywhere? They set up, they got these 3-letter organizations where they go and set up shop in sovereign lands, man. Yeah. It says, neither keepeth at home who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied, because that's the whole point. They covet all of the resources and the minerals and the lands that belong to other nations, man. And they do these things by ill-gotten gain, okay, through robbery, through deceit, see, all right, through backhand dealings, okay. And so it's to that point to where, quite honestly, these nations don't need America anymore, man. This is why BRICS over the years has just been getting more and more powerful. Many more countries have joined BRICS since its inception. Okay, and everybody's moving away from the dollar, man. So the whole time Trump hitting all these countries with these tariffs, he's started these trade wars. Well, really, hey, these countries don't need us, man. Or need you people rather, because we don't identify with this place. So whole time while Trump is putting all these tariffs on everybody, these other countries are like, well, look, man, we just gonna stop sending shit over there to y'all. And ultimately this place is about to become a third world country, man. And you really see it happening. It's like the whole the frog in a pot of boiling water syndrome, if you will. If you put the frog in a boiling water and you turn the heat up slowly, it'll ultimately get cooked to death. But if you turn the heat up and the water's boiling at that boiling point, then you put the frog in, of course it's going to jump out. Well, hey, America's already been boiled alive, man. This place is being boiled alive already. Okay, and that's what you people don't realize. You're in the midst of that, But let me grab this. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Okay, and that's same with ancient Babylon, the land of Shinar. All peoples was there at one point, man. Then the Most High to confound the languages. Well, when you look at America, this is Babylon the Great. That's why this place is the land of confusion, because you have all different backgrounds, identities, ethnicities, religions, etc. over here, man. It says, verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, which thick clay represents heavy debts. Okay. And that's why this place is trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. And it's to the point to where this is, you can stick a pin in this place, man. It's going to explode, man. See, that's why, with these trade wars, the market's been plummeting. A lot of people lost money. And now we're at a point where, it's relative peace, if you will, quote unquote, just due to the fact that he put 90-day pauses on those, on a certain amount of the tariffs on China, which he didn't cut back on all of them, but he cut back a little bit, but even still, Walmart and these particular companies are warning that prices are still going to go up. So again, this place has already been boiled, alive, and there's nothing that can remedy that, man. There's nothing that can be done to stop it at this point. We're just out here to warn you and prophesy to you things are getting worse, and they're going to get worse because, honestly, it's prophetic. Okay, so now you got China pretty much entering into the war, with the small hats, entering into tensions with the small hats. Okay. But it says, verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and of all that dwell therein, man. See, so because this place, America, small hats, has spoiled many places, man, now the Most High had to raise these nations up to spoil them. And a lot of the people in the comments are ultimately cheering China on, man. They're advocating for China, man. They're like, yeah, China is saving the day, if you will. But we know when you go in Ezekiel 38, Russia's going to be one of the main players in coming against this place, man, and coming against those small hats. See, So everything is pretty much lined up, man. But these people, look at the comments, man. China is quickly replacing an unreliable America in global rankings. Finally, a strong nation is standing up for the ones being bullied. See? Sounds like China just became the world leader. And when you read Ezekiel 38, it tells you that Russia is going to be a guard to many nations. It mentions Iran, the North African countries, you know, um, certain members of NATO are going to turn on America. You see? So, hey, we at a point to where we're about to witness the fall and demise of America and Israel, man. And any other Western European countries that want to hold on to this place, man. But let me play this video.
This just in, the Chinese government has now announced that if Israel does not remove their forces from Syria and Lebanon and from the surrounding regions, that they will and may and will take action. And this has just been announced as tensions between these different regions escalate. China has now come to the fray, saying that Israel must withdraw their troops immediately. This just in, the Chinese government has now announced.
You see that?
That if
China urges Israel to immediately withdraw all military forces, calling for regional stability. So, man, you got Russia, China, Iran, and I believe Russia and Iran just entered into some type of, matter of fact, I don't want to butcher that, but I believe some type of nuclear deal. See here. Just want to type that in. Okay, I forgot exactly how it was worded. But nonetheless, all right, if I come across that, I'll go into it. But, you see the point, man. These nations have risen up, all right, against Edom. You Edomites, man. The so-called white man, the self-proclaimed, all right, white race, man. All right. Which really is, America, Israel, those, so-called European countries. But you can see they're rising up against this place in battle. Okay. And this will happen. Okay. This place will America will be brought into that war. Okay. Because Christian said the least of the flock shall draw them out, which really, over there in the state of Israel. Okay. Every nation is being pulled and gathered into that region. Okay. For the third woe. But that's really it on that. All right. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashmiel Shah, DTA Wababa Ball. Shalom.